We learned they've been in this temporary visitor center for 10 years.
Is a monument to the Confederate forces that fought here. We are basically right in the Confederate earthworks, the works defending Fort Donelson. You'll see the Federals that were killed here were taken obviously to the National Cemetery. There is a National Cemetery here, just like you saw at Vicksburg, just like you will see at Shiloh and many other battlefields that you will visit. What is actually Fort Donelson itself. So he will cross this big ravine to the left here and will mount this ridge, and you will begin to see just how close that he actually is to again, what is called Fort Donelson. So think Vicksburg. You have the water batteries closing the river, you have the fortifications defending the water batteries, and you have the outer fortifications defending the water batteries. Now, these look very manicured, almost like Vicksburg. I'm pretty sure these aren't in their original state. There's more ravines, more artillery. Now, this is where, as we get around this curve to the right, this is where they will interpret the Confederate garrison here. And for the fortification begins to go up, the Confederates will garrison Fort Donelson for 6 or 8 months before the February battle takes place here, and so they built winter quarters. You can see that thing even right now whipping around, and you make it as substantial as similar to Valley Forge. You're exactly
but smaller.
Right. You're exactly right. It is. But if you look to your right, you see the artillery down below. That is called the upper battery, down lower. On the left up here will be the lower battery that's higher up. Now, why do they call the upper battery the lower one and the lower battery the upper one? Well, it has to do with the river, of course. The right up there, that big bend, and so you can just imagine those Federal gunboats. Sure, the Federal gunboats make the attack on Fort Donelson. This is where it occurs. Now, because of the elevation of the guns, because of the good field of fire, all of that, the Federal gunboats are repulsed, and it happens right here. I wish we could put up signs on the bank of the river, almost like a golf course, saying 500 yards, 1,000 yards, 1,500 yards, all of that, so they would know the ranges when the Federal vessels got to those signs. They would know the exact range, and they hit them pretty hard. And each of the
tree blocking the road.
That just happened.
I'm just glad it didn't.
Historian Dr. Tim Smith knew the park superintendent, who was at a conference in Missouri, called him, told him what happened, and the superintendent hadn't heard yet. It had just happened. Off the bus, there's the park ranger's car. There's the tree blocking the road. There's the Confederate monument. It's soaking wet. That's why this thing came up. He said we were backing up traffic. There's one car behind us. We've been here at least 15 minutes. Tobacco to the rescue. Tobacco into action, I think. Interesting Confederate monument, because they had fought against the United States. Confederate dead were not reburied in the National Cemetery. This monument, erected by the Daughters of the Confederacy, is a memorial for those men. It was dedicated in 1933. Oak tree, when it came down, banged into the trees over here on the other side of the road. It shows how tall the tree was, cutting off the low stuff. I thought they'd cut off some of this light stuff up here and be able to get us through, but oh well. Chainsaw's got to be really sharp. He's cutting right through that. like that easily. All oak trees in here. Get an idea of what it looks like upright. There's what the guy with the chainsaw just did. Now I think they're going to do another section over here. Well, I do gain an appreciation for Grant's troops coming through here building bridges, taking down pine trees and laying them across to ford some of these rivers without a chainsaw. They've got most of it down now, pushed over off the side. He's still getting some logs. We might get through here before too long.
Quite honest, we saw the main part. What we would see, in fact, if you look to the left, you see that's Graves Battery we were talking about, just a little loop up there. The rest of it is mainly through residential areas where you can see a little strip of earthwork. Go on YouTube and look up Shiloh Fiery Trough. And so you can watch that at your leisure before we ever go.
This map shows the Battle of Fort Henry in 1862, and in the southeast corner of the map is the road to Fort Donelson, which was the Union's next stop. The Battle of Fort Henry was fought on February 6, 1862. It was the first important victory for the Union and Brigadier General Grant in the Western Theater. A couple days before, Grant landed 2 divisions just north of the fort. Grant's plan was to advance on the fort on the 6th, while being simultaneously attacked by Union gunboats commanded by Flag Officer Foote. Combination of accurate and effective naval gunfire, heavy rain, and the poor position of the fort, nearly inundated by rising river waters, caused the commander, Brigadier General Kleeman, who we saw his house recently, to surrender.
Northwestern corner of
This
Fort
green
Henry.
buoy right here.
This green buoy right here is at the northwestern corner. So Fort Henry itself would have been that, farther to the east and a little bit farther to the south. So right out in there is Fort Henry.
This is really exciting.
When the Tennessee River was dammed in the 1930s, creating Kentucky Lake, the remains of Fort Henry were permanently submerged. And diving in the area is not recommended. It's not safe.